Okay, so for tonight's lesson, it shouldn't be very hard. It's a little bit just expanding on what we already know how to do over the last couple lessons. So the first thing I want to go over is finding the information in a word problem. You guys are having a really hard time with understanding what to do with these word problems. So our first word problem is Raphael practices the violin for 3/4 of an hour each day. He has a recital in 3 days. How much time will he practice in 3 days? Okay. I need you to be able to visualize this. So I'm going to separate this into days, right? Okay, so here's day 1. This is day 2. And this is day 3. Okay? And each day he does 3/4 of an hour. Okay, so that can visually help me understand the word problem, right? So every day for 3 days, he's practicing 3/4 of an hour. How much time will he practice in a total of 3 days? So since we're working on multiplication, obviously you could have added these together, but that's not what I want you to do. I want you to be able to multiply these. So how many days are there? There are 1, 2, 3 days. Okay, so it's going to be 3 times something. Now, like I told you, when you're looking at the bar models that we were looking at yesterday or the day before yesterday, if they're shaded in, whatever's in the box is what you're multiplying by. Okay, so in this case, what's in our box or in our days is 3/4. So my multiplication problem then is going to be 3 times 3/4. Okay. And to solve that, I'm going to multiply. And like we talked about, we're going to turn that into a fraction. We're just going to multiply across. 3 times 3 is 9. 1 times 4 is 4. The denominator is always going to stay the same in a multiplication problem. Okay? So the answer would be 9/4 in all. All right, let's take a look at one more. All right, so Rico is making 4 batches of salsa. Each batch needs 2/3 cup of corn. He only has 1/3 measuring cup. How many times does Rico need to measure 1/3 cup of corn to have enough for a salsa? So there's a lot of numbers right there. First thing I need to do is make my batches of salsa. So salsa goes in a bowl, so I'm going to make 4 batches of salsa, right? Okay, and in each of these, he needs 2/3 cup. Okay, so 4 batches of salsa. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Each one needs 2/3, but he only has 1/3 a measuring cup. Okay, so I have a third here, but I need 2/3. So I'm going to need to do that twice to go into this one, right? All right, this one's going to need the same thing to go into this one, and so on and so forth. Oops. Okay, it's going to go into that one. All right, so here I have a total of how many 1/3? I'm just going to circle them and count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So how many times is he going to have to scoop? He's going to have to scoop it 8 times. Okay, so I hope that clears that up a little bit. If it doesn't, please practice using this. Just change the fractions and the numbers around and practice using those. All right, the only other thing that you need to be able to do for this lesson is to multiply. So we're going to practice multiplying. Okay, so if I have, what do I do? If I have 3 groups, let's say I have this one, 3 times 5/8. I have 3 groups of 5/8, and I need to multiply them. I'm just going to multiply across. 3 times 5 is 15. 8 times 1 is 8. Okay, how about 2 and 4/5? 2 times 4/5. Okay, I'm going to multiply across. 2 times 4 is 8. 5 times 1 is 5. Okay, how about 5 and 3/10? Okay, multiply across. 5 times 3 is 15. 10 times 1 is 10. Shouldn't be too hard. 4 2/3. We'll do 2 more. Okay, 4 times 2 is 8. 3 times 1 is 3. Okay, denominator is always going to stay the same on a multiplication problem. And last one, 4 and 5, 6. Okay, multiply across. 4 times 5 is 20, and 6 stays the same. Okay, so that shouldn't be too hard for you guys. I know you struggle mostly with the word problems, being able to take apart the word problems. So look at number 10 and 11 very carefully. All right, let's go to our WSQ. Okay, your WSQ for tonight is just go ahead and finish up your practice book page, and we'll see you first thing in the morning. Oh, by the way, oh, no, I had it right. I thought it was 8.4. My bad. Have a good night.